Welcome to Sunday with Mike. I'd like to thank everyone for your continued support, comments, and thumbs up. I really do appreciate your input. I'm curious who my core audience is, so would you do me a favor and leave me a comment saying what kind of DJ work you do the most? I've made my shows pretty generic in the past, but I'd like to know the type of DJ work that most of my viewers are doing. On today's show, I'll cover the slow times of your business and the things that you should be doing, a website to help you with pronunciations, and finally some basic trailer safety. If you find something helpful in today's show, would you do me a favor and pay it forward by telling someone about the show? What would help even more is if you shared the link with some of your friends. That would help all of us. I'll be right back after I grab a cup of coffee.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Have you ever noticed a slowdown in your business? Have you ever tracked that slowdown so that it was predictable each year? If you answered no to either of those questions, I want you to stick with me today so that I can show you how to say yes to both of those questions. You know, Christmas time each year is really a big deal for most people's checking account, and it's the time of year when many people will go into debt to purchase presents for others. What does this have to do with you as a DJ? Well, if your clients are broke in January and February, paying back all those credit cards, it might explain why you were experiencing a slowdown in your business during that time of the year. Let's look at another example from my own business here in Louisiana. We are very busy during January and February because of something called Mardi Gras. If you're not familiar with it, you can Google it for more details. On the other hand, we are typically slower during July through October every year when most other businesses are booming. I wanted to know more about this trend, and what I learned was that all of the vendors in my area were slower during the same time period that I was. Venues, photographers, videographers, cake people, flower people, they were all slow. So after doing some additional research, I was able to tie this slowdown to the time frame of our hurricane season, which typically runs from June 1st through November 30th each year. Since most vendors have a non-refundable deposit retainer fee clause, most people aren't willing to sign contracts with multiple vendors during this time period and will schedule their events for a different time of the year. So when are your slow times? If you're tracking all these things when you're getting calls and emails and quotes in your database that we've covered in a previous show, you should be able to spot a repeating pattern in your inquiries and your bookings each year. You can dig in deeper to understand the patterns and what makes it tick. This makes the natural slowdown in business work to your advantage. The biggest takeaway that you can learn from this is that you get peace of mind knowing that your business isn't failing and everything is fine, it's just a market slowdown. Right after the break, we're going to talk about how you can make this slow time work to your advantage in promoting your business. Welcome back. So now that we know when our business is going to be slower during a specific time frame, how can we take advantage of this? You could tackle that long forgotten to-do list that we all have. What about watching hundreds of free videos provided to you by the Disc Jockey News? Or pull your gear out of its cases and give everything a good cleaning. getting anything repaired or replaced that has broken or become outdated, learning more about DMX lighting and how it works and how programming can help your business. This is a great time to order new equipment and learn how to use it before you get busy again. What DJ conventions are happening during your slower times of the year where you could slip away and go to those? This would be a good time to inquire with others who have gone to those conventions and can offer you some tips and advice on the kind of DJ work that you do and how you can benefit from that convention. Remember, we're not all the same. What works for a wedding DJ may not work so well for a club DJ, so make sure that the training that you're getting is appropriate to the type of work you do. Why not call another DJ and shadow them on one of their events? It's a great way to get some fresh new ideas and view things from a different perspective. Knock on some venue doors and drop off business cards. Upload some of your content to social media accounts and YouTube. Read some business books on accounting and advertising. There are just so many things to do that we never have time for while we're busy, so learn to use these slower times to your advantage and get some things done. I'll be right back after this short break. In today's wildcard segment, we'll discuss how to handle names or words that you need to pronounce but aren't quite sure how they're spoken. I know I get tripped up every once in a while on someone's name or the name of a city or a product, and it would be great to hear it said properly so that I could practice saying it correctly. I was searching for something one day on the internet and I accidentally found this website that has helped me, and I think it's worth mentioning to you. You'll want to go to www.pronouncenames.com. Don't forget to bookmark this site for future help. It's a handy tool if you're stuck on a name or a word and you just need to hear it said correctly. Remember though, no website will ever be 100% perfect, and there are times where you'll strike out on this website, and when you do, you can always ask your clients to send you a voice recording of them saying the name or the word that you're having trouble with. Most smartphones have the ability to record a voice memo, and then it allows the client to email or text that voice recording to you. Use this technology to your advantage when dealing with difficult names or words that you're going to have to learn to say correctly. Learning local variations to common names can help you also. For example, in my area, Hebert isn't Hebert, it's Hebert. I have no idea how it became Hebert, but if you want to say it correctly in my part of Louisiana, you need to know that. In other parts of the state, it's still pronounced Hebert. Our last tip about saying names or words correctly would be that if you start a database with the normal spelling and then a phonetically spelled out version, and you keep adding to this database as time goes by, it will help you to build a list that you can go back to as the need arises over and over again. In our next segment, I'll share some basic trailer safety tips. I'll be right back. In the tips and tricks segment today, I want to talk about basic trailer safety. There are many times when you will need to use a trailer to haul your equipment. Some of you already own a trailer and will use it for every event you do. Others will only rent a trailer once in a while as needed. Regardless of how often you use a trailer, you need to make sure that you understand basic trailer safety so that you and your equipment arrive safely. Many of us are very trusting and assume that a trailer rental place would know and understand the proper way to do things and would never do anything that would possibly create a safety hazard for you on the road. Let me share a short story with you that happened to me one day so that you'll rethink this whole idea. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, purchased a brand new Chevy Tahoe with a factory installed trailer hitch. She stopped at a large boating store and purchased a receiver for the hitch along with the correct size ball and had them install everything. Later, she and I met at the U-Haul Center and rented a trailer to haul some of her stuff from one place to another. The trailer was empty and all was well for about the first 20 miles at highway speeds. Then, just as we were headed up an overpass, all of a sudden the trailer became unhooked and it looks like a bird's peak. It was doing this, just going up and down and bobbing and weaving all over the road. Each time the trailer came down, it was poking a new hole into this brand new Tahoe. Since I was on an overpass, there wasn't any place for me to pull over. I quickly slowed down, got the bobbing under control, and we pulled over the moment we got off the overpass. After inspecting everything, the U-Haul Center had properly crisscrossed the chains, but one of the chains broke loose, and that allowed the trailer to sway from side to side while it was going up and down on this overpass. We both felt very lucky to be alive considering how it all happened. We discovered the newly installed ball was the wrong size shank, the part with the threads on it, and that the boat place used a plastic filler washer instead of using the correct size bolt for the hole. Then, to make matters worse, they put lubricant on the threads, which only helped to loosen the nut that fell off during our trip. The boat shop had a very expensive repair bill after they paid for all of the damages to this vehicle. Moral of this story is make sure you're using the right equipment, that the chains are crisscrossed, using the correct size ball and shank, and that the tire pressure on the trailer and the towing vehicle are correct. Pulling a trailer could be more dangerous than you can imagine. I'll be right back to wrap things up after this short break. So that's my show for today. I'll be back next week with all new topics to help you and your business. Be sure to give me your thoughts on today's show down in the comments section below, and don't forget to give us that thumbs up. If you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Facebook, and I'll share that link below. So until next Sunday, my name is Mike Schnauter. Be safe, and thanks for watching.